Hi everyone, it's Shanel here from The Heart and Soul with your weekly Oracle card reading for December 15th through the 21st, 2014. We're doing things a little differently today. It's been a weird day, needless to say, and really the energies right now are shifting so much, so quickly, and really pushing us and forcing us towards our life purpose, letting go of the past and moving forward. And I definitely have had one of those days today. So this morning I pulled some cards from this deck here, the Enchanted Map Oracle cards by the beautiful Colette Baron-Reid. So I pulled cards about a relationship in my life that continues in a very cyclical pattern. And I've pulled cards about it before, but today I really had the insight to ask if this relationship was for the highest good of myself and my children, to keep this person around us. And I pulled this beautiful spread of cards that were all about me and who I am and what I feel, and not really about the relationship, but it really allowed me to look at things in a different way, to just understand myself and where I stand in this relationship and in life in general. I was so grateful for the information that when a friend came over this afternoon to visit for tea, that I wanted to read for her as well from this deck of cards. And I always get beautiful, very accurate readings from Colette's decks. I do own another one of hers and quite love reading from it all the time. And this is a newer deck for me, so I have to kind of go to the guidebook still in that to understand what the cards are about, because they're not necessarily, I find Colette's cards, they're not great beginner decks because they don't have a lot of information right on the cards. You kind of have to get used to the deck and what the different cards mean for you. And this one is still, I've only had it for a couple of weeks, so it really, it hasn't all sunk in and that sort of thing for me, but going to the guidebook, it was just a beautiful, beautiful reading. So I pull out the cards to read for my friend this afternoon, and as I begin to pull the cards, I laughed at first, because the first two cards I had pulled for myself in the morning, and laughed, and then I pulled the next card, and I was like, oh my goodness, I pulled this card too. I'm like, I'm going to have to keep going. I pulled 5 cards this morning, let's see what I pull this afternoon. And let me say, it doesn't take, it takes a lot to freak me out these days, because, you know, speaking to spirit, hearing things, being touched by spirit, you know, nothing shocks me these days until I pulled all 5 cards, the exact same spread that I had pulled in the morning. I pulled again this afternoon, pulled the cards in a different order, but pulled the exact same spread. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. So I really understood when I pulled that spread for the second time today how important the message was, and not just for me or my friend that was sitting across from me, but how important the message was for everyone to hear today. So I'm going to share these cards with you today that I pulled for myself and my friend, and for all of you, obviously, to hear their message. So here we go. So the first card I want to talk about is this one, and it's called Goblins. And Colette refers to the goblin card as the goblins kind of are fears that we create when something happens to us and we lose something significant in our lives, that sort of thing. It creates a goblin, and this goblin comes in and will mess with our head when we go through things, and will really do self-sabotage and negative self-talk and that sort of stuff. So we create our own goblins and we allow them to live in our head, or we can choose to banish them away. So the second card I wanted to show you was this one. It's called Mountains. And the really significant piece of the message from this card was that we needed to be like the river that flows around the mountain and just go with the flow. And that really hit home for me today, that sometimes we have to stop trying to go the hard way and stop trying to climb the mountain, because we don't really need to go on that treacherous journey, that if we just really let go and go with the flow. We can flow around the mountain like it was nothing. And they said in the guidebook too that if you choose to climb the mountain, to acknowledge that you only need to do baby steps to climb around it. But I say go with flowing through the river. Sounds like a way better gig. So the next card is this one. It's intentions. And intentions has come up for me a lot. I love listening to Esther Hicks channel Abraham, and she talks a lot about our vibration and our intentions and the energies that we're putting forward. And this card really speaks to that as well. Just it speaks to the intentions we set out in the universe. What are we saying? Are we really walking our truth? Are we really speaking the things that we really want in life so that we're putting out the proper vibration, rather than talking about the things that we don't want in our life? And I am a total culprit for this, and I don't always catch myself doing it. And I really try to be very conscious when I talk about things, especially things that I'm struggling with or having to work through. I really try to be very careful about how I talk about those things, to be able to put out an intention of the things that I really want to bring forward for myself in my life and for my family, my career, that sort of thing. So the next card that was also important is this one, and it is Spirit of Place. And this card really speaks about being our authentic self, being our true self, and being who we truly are, which if you've listened to my readings, you know that I love to preach this one, and I really try to stand in my own power and be who I truly am at all times. And so it is asking us to remember that this week and remember who we are. And we have been asked to do that quite a bit over the last few weeks. So the last card, this last beautiful card, home. So we always need to remember that home is where the heart is, and that this feeling of safety and security all begins in our own heart. It begins with self-love and self-care and choosing to feel that beautiful warmth and safety and security of home. Home is just a word. It's not a place. It's a feeling. It's absolutely 100% a feeling. And we can choose to make something feel like it's our home, or we can choose to feel like it is something that imprisons us, or, it really, we make the place where we live, maybe the place that we work or have our spiritual practice, or the places that we visit. We can choose to embrace them and feel the warmth and love there, or create that and make it a home, or we can choose to fight against it and dig our heels in. And again, it goes back to the mountain. Go with the flow, baby. Choose the river, float around. I swear I'm investing in a very big floaty to relax on with the drink holders so that I can just enjoy life, because I'm tired of fighting the river. I'm tired of the treacherous climb, and I'm tired of it all, and I just want to go with the flow. I have learned in life that when we can trust what the universe has put forth for us, that we can trust in the plan, this amazing plan that the universe has, regardless of the fact that some days it doesn't feel like a fantastic plan. I know that the universe has something amazing in store for all of us. And if we can just learn to love ourselves and put out those positive vibes and keep moving forward, that this amazing thing is going to unfold. Miracles are going to happen. There will be blessings and abundance, and it will all be incredible. The energy is shifting and moving to allow these things to happen, and we just need to be patient. We just need to continue to go with the flow and allow them to unfold. Quit fighting against everything, because the more we fight, the harder it gets. The more we can go with the flow and accept our situations. That doesn't mean we have to stay in our situations just because we can accept them, but it means not fighting them. Instead, trying to move with the flow to change and move forward. I have an ultimate goal. I have a paycheck job, as I like to call it, or my desk job that I love. I love the people I work with. I have a very interesting job, but I want to run my business 24/7. And so I don't fight having to go to that job. I don't make that experience miserable for myself. I choose to enjoy it and know that that's going to be there for me for as long as I need it to be there to support me and my kids. And that when I don't need it anymore, then I'll be able to walk away from it. But by not fighting it and instead of going with the flow, I can accept that and enjoy going to that job every week and move forward with positivity instead of digging in my heels and not wanting to go and having these horrible feelings. So instead, I'm sending out positive vibes and trusting that the universe will provide for me in a different way so that I can let go of that job and still support my family with a beautiful amount of abundance. Anyways, now I'm rambling and I've been talking a long time this week, but it was such a beautiful card spread today with such a gorgeous message for this energy of this upcoming week, and just to kind of like smooth out the energy of the last few weeks, because we've had some big turmoil in things of the past coming up, things letting go and really being shoved forward, and that energy has started to shift, and it's going to shift even more with the new year coming in January. Be patient. Be very patient. It's all shifting and changing. So, that being said, I'm going to stop talking now, and I will see you again next week. So, from my heart and soul to yours, have an incredible week.